we need to talk about a significant and rapid shift in our weather pattern. As we enter the first days of October, the warmth that many have been accustomed to is about to be replaced, not by one, but by a series of 3 distinct cold waves over the next 10 to 14 days. This is not a cause for alarm, but it is a clear call for preparation. The atmosphere is signaling a dramatic change, and my job is to walk you through what is happening, why it is happening, and what you need to do to be ready. The main point is this: colder, winter-like air is on the move, and it will impact a large portion of the country in successive pushes, requiring us to stay vigilant and prepared for an early arrival of chilly conditions. The tropical systems that dominated headlines, like Hurricanes Humberto and Alda, are moving away from the United States, and their influence is waning. In their place, a new dominant feature is emerging in the upper atmosphere: a deep trough, a dip in the jet stream, which acts as a superhighway for cold, dense air from the north to plunge southward into the lower 48 states. Understanding this pattern is key to understanding the forecast. When we see a trough setting up over the central and eastern United States, it is a classic indicator of below-average temperatures. Conversely, a ridge builds over the west, which can help steer more cold air into the east. The models are in general agreement that this pattern will lock in, leading to not just a single cold snap, but a series of them as reinforcing shots of Arctic and polar air are driven down from Canada. Each wave will have its own characteristics and timeline, which we will break down. The first push of cold air will arrive in a very specific and interesting way for the East Coast. We call this a backdoor cold front. Unlike a typical cold front that sweeps west to east, a backdoor front moves in from the northeast or from the east. It will slide down the Atlantic coastline: New England, New York, New Jersey, Pennsylvania, the Carolinas, Virginia. The source is the cooler maritime air over the North Atlantic, giving it a raw, damp, chilly feel. You will feel it mostly through the wind. The prevailing wind will shift to the northeast, pulling ocean-chilled air inland. Temperatures will tumble most along coastal and near-coastal areas. Inland will cool too, but the biggest drop is east of the Appalachians. By Wednesday into Thursday, places that were mild will suddenly feel like late November. Highs may stay in the 50s, and west of that line, the Ohio Valley and the Deep South can stay warmer, creating a sharp temperature gradient across the east. After the initial backdoor front settles along the East Coast, the larger-scale pattern change takes control. The main feature is a deep trough in the jet stream. This trough acts like an open gate, allowing progressively colder air masses to spill south out of Canada. Unlike the first wave, the subsequent cold shots will have a much broader impact. Northern Plains, Midwest, and Great Lakes, and the Northeast will be most affected through the first half of the month. The North Central states, Montana, the Dakotas, Minnesota, Wisconsin, Michigan, will take the brunt and earliest deep chill. These are the places where the first snowflakes of the season are most likely to fly, especially in the high Rockies. The core of this frigid air will sag southward into the heartland: Iowa, Illinois, Indiana, then refresh across the Ohio Valley and Northeast. The Mid-Atlantic and New England lock into the pattern. The Deep South rides the fringe with a noticeable but lighter cooldown. This is not one and done. A stubborn trough keeps sending new shots every few days, boosting energy use and stressing infrastructure. Be ready for an extended stretch of chill. The second major cold wave arrives around the weekend of October 4th through 5th and extends into October 6th through 9th. Guidance agrees on a strong low over south-central Canada, dragging a potent front south and east. Expect a rain band ahead of the front, and behind it the first snow chances in northern areas and high terrain. Higher Rockies are favored. Parts of the upper Midwest and northern Great Lakes may see wet flakes. This front scours lingering warmth so that nearly everyone east of the Rockies feels the chill. A third wave likely follows around October 10th through 14th. Details are fuzzier, but the trough remains, and another strong front reinforces the cold already in place. Wave 2 appears strongest. Wave 3 prolongs the cold spell and delays any return to seasonal averages. The sustained cold has cumulative effects: continuous strain on heating systems, higher pipe freeze risk, and added grid load. While the dominant story is the temperature drop, we must also discuss precipitation with these waves. The weather will not be uniformly dry. The first backdoor front favors scattered light showers and a drizzly raw feel in New England and the coastal mid-Atlantic. The second, stronger front taps southern moisture. Expect a line of showers and perhaps thunderstorms ahead. Heavier totals favor the north-central states into the Great Lakes. Behind the boundary, colder air changes rain to snow in higher Rockies, with wet flakes possible upper Midwest and northern New England. Conversely, much of the deep south into parts of the mid-Atlantic may remain quite dry, potentially stressing areas already trending dry. Models hint at a low near the southeast coast around day 10. Confidence is low, but if it forms, coastal Florida, Georgia, or the Carolinas could see wind and heavy rain. It is too early to know if it would be tropical, subtropical, or a nor'easter. We will monitor it as a separate wildcard from the primary cold pattern. The arrival of such cold air in early October is significant. It disrupts the normal seasonal transition and creates hazards we are not prepared for. A widespread frost or hard freeze can devastate remaining warm season crops and home gardens. Cover sensitive plants at night. Heating systems dormant for months get stressed. Faulty igniters, clogged filters, and failing thermostats show up on the first cold night. Uninsulated pipes and unheated spaces are at risk of bursting, causing costly water damage. People are not acclimated yet. The chill feels sharper. Risks rise for the elderly, young children, and the unhoused. The first snowfall often spikes accidents. Even a dusting or a bridge ice patch can be treacherous before full road prep is in place. It is a wake-up call from the atmosphere. Adjust how we dress, how we drive, and how we plan, weeks earlier than usual. First, focus on heat. Change your furnace filter, switch to heat, and confirm warm air is flowing. If using space heaters, inspect cords, and keep a 3-foot clearance from anything flammable. Find pipes in crawl spaces, basements, garages, and exterior walls, insulate them. Disconnect hoses and cover outdoor spigots. Open cabinets and let faucets drip on the coldest nights. Assemble flashlights, a battery or crank radio, charged power banks, and warm blankets. If you have a fireplace or wood stove, get it cleaned and ready. Never use grills or camp stoves indoors. For vehicles, check tire pressure, wipers, winter-grade washer fluid, and have your battery tested. Keep a winter kit in your trunk and maintain at least a half tank of gas to avoid fuel line freeze and delays. Protect animals. Limit pet time outside, provide coats for dogs, and ensure livestock have dry shelter, extra feed, and unfrozen water. In summary, 3 distinct cold waves will drive a significant pattern shift over the next 10 to 14 days. Wave 1 arrives as a backdoor front. Wave 2 is the most impactful. Wave 3 prolongs the chill into mid-month. Meet this with calm, deliberate preparation. Ready your home, your car, your community, and stay informed with National Weather Service updates. Stay warm and stay prepared.